Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Benjamin. Welcome to another episode of Recap. It is Wednesday, and I am ready to fucking rock, baby. Hey, what's going on, babe? My wife's in the chat here. As always, if you're not able to catch the show live, you can catch us on YouTube at Hat-Club. Be sure to subscribe to us, which is a fancy word for follow, and give us a like if you like what you see. What is going on to everybody over on Instagram? And of course, everybody here on Twitch. Sorry I wasn't here this last week. I was in Vegas with my wife before we then moved on to Wisconsin for her grandmother's 90th birthday, which was lovely. And of course, the big news out of that, the Indiana Pacers going to the NBA Finals, baby. Woo! Elk Dot, I know you're not stoked about that. I love you, brother, but had to throw one out there because I am fired up for tomorrow. Indiana versus Oklahoma City tomorrow night, 5:30 Pacific time. But of course, I'm going to be in Arizona watching the game. So if you're in downtown Phoenix, I'll put up a flag, let you guys know where I'm at if you want to come hang and watch the game with me and see me stress the fuck out. That's the place to be. But anyway, JM1620, what's going on? Elk Dot, of course, gave you a shout out already. Croats 10, Floppy Banana 8, Mace Wright, Yodi Fitteds, VT Kevin R, Air Spider 23, Chana SFC, Best of AZ. My name is Eric. Oh, Labode, what is going on? David Kearns in the house. Warrior X 408, King KR 30, Nixon 7, of course, Nixon 9, of course. Monsters Brims. How dare you? Do not. Elijah, I like where your head's at. Sirs and 7. I do like that. PV92, Leo V713, Lie, Yams, Jacobs, Fitteds, Monster Brims. I saw Yodi Fitteds in here. Johnny Hustle. I know Wilder's going to be not too far from behind, but of course, I can't do this show alone. Got my wingman here, Mr. Teferi Taylor. What up?
What's going on, man? Shouts out to chat. Chat's very lively today.
Very
And
lively today. Love it.
congratulations to you too, Ben. I'm seeing you definitely repping the Pacers blue and yellow today. Congratulations to you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Very, very sad day for the Knicks as well for them firing Tom Thibodeau. I
Dude.
have my own feelings about that, but I digress. The Knicks will forever be a very interesting organization. I don't want to use any other words because I know we might have some Knicks fans in mourning in here, but shouts out to them, man. Shouts out to both teams. It was a great series. My favorite between the Eastern Conference and Western Conference. The games were exciting. Shouts out to Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, and the crew doing great work. I'm really hoping that this will be Tyrese's, breakout, year.
Yeah.
It's seeming to be so. So yeah, and I already knew Wilder was in here. I'm gonna go with OKC. That's his team. So shouts out to him, Wilder. I'm praying for you, buddy. I'm hoping that
I have to go to Arizona and see this man tomorrow and just talk mad shit.
No, 1000%. But shouts out to chat. What's going on? David Kearns, what's up? Monster Brims, what's going on? Eric, what's going on, my guy? Leo V. Everybody, the crew is here, man. Happy Wednesday. If you like hats, as Ben's lovely wife Angie has said, then this is the show for you, and we're excited to be here with you guys and to hang out. This is gonna be a great show. I'm excited. But speaking of things I'm excited about, I like to show the people, Ben.
I was gonna say, let me see if I'm still in good form. I wasn't here last week, but it's time for Sight Sleeper.
See, Ben, you did it so much better than I did. I tried my best. On the Ben scale, I was probably a smooth 8 when I did that.
Hey, that's a respectable number right there.
It's a respectable number. It's definitely a respectable number. So for those of you guys who are new to Hat Club, welcome. If you aren't new, you go to obviously www.hatclub.com. You can also access Hat Club's online presence through the app. We have a lot of different ways you can interact with what's new. We obviously have the big carousel here with the surveillance pack, which we will be talking about tonight, and the NHL variety pack that released last week. But if you're ever wanting to know what's new, you can always tap the new hyperlink right next to rewards. And then if you just want to see the new arrivals, you can just hit view all down here. Make sure you're signed in so you can use your points. And happy shopping. So let's get into some side sleepers.
Man. I want to say you are so much better at that than I could ever be, and I love that.
Listen, it's almost like I get paid to do this and to have this down.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Cha-ching. Yeah. So, but yeah, we obviously had some really great hats that we showed off last week. I really came into this site sleepers wanting to say the name of the person who actually talked to me about who they responded to me. So last week, Ben, we were talking about hats that a lot of people were interested in, and it was the USC Trojans.
Oh God,
And I was like, wow, we actually have a USC Trojan-esque looking hat here.
we do.
And I couldn't really remember the screen name, and I'm sure he's going to yell at me again for forgetting his screen name as we're going through it this week. But we obviously had this hat that came in a two-tone Dodgers rose hat, LA in gold script. You have the rose behind it, gray UV black guts. A very good hat you could wear to Pasadena or in Southern California. Just depends on where
Ooh.
you want to go. Um, and a cool thing that our e-commerce team is doing that I think you guys should also pay attention to is we have accessories here. So Hat Club display boxes. For those that order the crossover pack, you know what I'm talking about. And then also we have our curving bands and our hat care accessories that you can add when you purchase hats. So go ahead and hit your icon here. You can also hit the plus icon there, and it will automatically add it to your cart. In
Give that
addition
man a
to,
raise. Oh my God, you're so good at it.
listen, man, it's a matter of factish level. It's got to sound like you're not selling, you're advising.
No,
Trust
dude,
me.
it's so fucking smooth. I love it.
So obviously we have this. This is one we didn't talk about, I think, last week, but it's a really, really nice hat. To Ben's point, the only true team of Chicago here,
Damn
the
straight.
Chicago White Sox, 125th anniversary. Good black, and it looks like a toasted peanut or roasted peanut top visor and top button here. And it is a Hat Club original pink undervisor made in
Ooh,
China. It looks like all metallic. It looks like silver
yeah.
with a outline on it with pewter for the Chicago White Sox, and then 125th on the side. So again, this has a full size run. Don't know where the White Sox are in the standings this year, but hopefully they're doing better than they did last year. But either way, great crown, something you should definitely try to pick up if you can. Full size
Basically,
run.
they're the exact opposite of the future 2025 world champion Detroit Tigers.
This is saddening to me to hear. Another hat that we talked about last week that I was expecting to move a little bit more, but maybe I
Oh,
know with a lot of things going on and with the heat
oh,
that's coming this month, there's a lot more of these hats available. We have the 2001 World Series in team colors for the Arizona Diamondbacks, teal top crown color, black top visor, and black button, gray UV. Here's a close up of that 2001 World Series
oh.
champion script. I think that this is a site sleeper. I think
I
this
think
is
it is too.
one that a lot of people are going to kind of wish they were able to get once it's gone. Size 8 folks cleaned this out, but if you are a 6 and 7/8 through a 7 and 3/4, we got a hat for you, and it's this one right here. I think this
Mm.
is a great hat. This is definitely one I think I'll spin the block on and grab very soon. And it looks like a metallic gold and metallic copper back batterman two tone. So a lot of really good details about that hat. Definitely want to scoop that up. Since Austin is not here, we could talk about his favorite franchise, the Yankees.
The Yankees.
Of course, he would never wear this hat. Mets fan, true and true. But one thing I do like about this Yankees hat is I've seen this script used with the Dodgers, old English script, and I thought it was really cool that the Yankees got that treatment. Here's an up close look at it. You have the old English Y and then Yankees after that. So Yankees all together. Side patch is then you're gonna have the Yankees with the top hat and the bat logo there. I think the Batterman is your traditional red, white, and blue. But 8 and 7/3/4 people again cleared this out. So if you were 7 through 7 and 5/8, go ahead and go scoop this one up. Good green too. I think this is a good one. I think so.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Third and line pointed it out where the Y kind of looks like a D a little bit, so it says Dankies. But
Yeah.
even in which case, Dankies kind of cool.
Dankies, yeah, that's it. That might become like the tetas that we were talking about not too long
I
ago.
mean, it's better than like the Jankies or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely better. Who somebody last week said they like sharks hats.
Oh,
Well,
the
guess
open water
what?
hat.
Open water hat. And this one is kind of like I like the fact that we've kind of done different things and used different logos when it comes to NHL teams. And I feel like the Sharks is a perfect example of that. We have the Tiburones, but then we also have these logos as well. I think this is probably one of the cooler San Jose Sharks logos that I've seen. It kind of shifts the mood and shakes it up a
Oh
little
no.
bit. Yeah, definitely gives us a little bit something different. You got the waterfalls back here. You have the shark obviously still carrying the broken hockey stick here. So really, really nice crown. I think it's a plain Jane tonal new era gray flag on the side. The back is the fin, gray UV black guts, NHL licensing sticker on the inside, China for the tag. Very, very nice hat. Again, if you have the Wave Runners, another good pickup for you right here as far as the matchup. So if you're a 7 through 7.5, and on the off chance you're a 7 and 3/4, definitely want to go pick this up for sure. Let's see what else we got. Um, I am a little bit biased with this next pick. The Korea Los Angeles Dodgers, please, best of AZ, boo all you need to. But I just felt like we got to talk about this hat specifically because of the Soul Threes that released. I think the last couple of weeks, really good hat to pair it with. You have that off white, which again is going to match that aged midsole. You have the almost like light navy here. You got the red top button, and then obviously you have the South Korean flag where the patch normally would be, hitting right off of the tongue of the, I believe it's the left shoe that has the Korean flag on it. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong on that. I don't have them in hand at the current moment, but very, very good hat, good gray UV, black guts, white taping. Batterman is that red, white, and blue that we expect to see with the Dodgers. Here's a close up of the front. Definitely gives me a little bit of AWACS vibes here with the colors. But very, very nice hat. I like it. Very, very smooth. Another good side sleeper to me. Um, Ben, did you which ones of the crossover pack did you get?
Well, I was gonna say, you can still hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, yeah.
For whatever reason, my camera stopped working. So,
Mhm.
the crossovers I picked up, oddly enough, New York,
Okay.
which, yeah, as a Pacer fan was a bit strange.
Yep.
And then of course I got the Bay, and
Mhm.
the top of the list, of course, was Toronto.
Got you, got you. Because I was gonna try to figure out if there was a hat in here that I was gonna hit on. I think the Bay. When you said the Bay, I was like, okay, bet we'll do this one. Yes, guys, it is Shark Week. So we're definitely gonna keep talking about Sharks hats. I don't know what the tally is. We'll have to get back to y'all on that. But we've definitely had a good little batch of Sharks hats that came in. This good purple black two tone was one that we showed off in hand that got the chat going. I think this was a variety pack drop or variety pack release. Full size run here. But again, I think this is just volume here. This is in the sense of you guys have a lot of options to choose from this week, as well as new arrivals we'll go over next week. But I really do. I think my favorite detail is the side patch here. I like this is all metallic silver, guys. So this is not white. So the 1997 National Hockey League All-Star Game, all of that is metallic silver. Really, really nice touch. The hat hits really well in hand. You have basically that almost crystal blue on the back with that metallic silver in the shield. Very, very nice. Exceptionally done crown. Really well done. Shouts out to the design team, man, for really continuing to give out some good excuse me, Astros. I was reading that. Good NHL hats recently and as of lately. And I think this wasn't one that we got a chance to talk about last week, but I think this is a really, really good crown. And it's almost cooked. That indigo and burgundy with the all copper front A's logo. Shouts out to Ben's Oakland Athletics, not anywhere
Yeah.
else. You have the World Series right here, Battle of the Bay for the side patch. I just like the color placement on here, and that all copper front logo is just crazy against that almost washed blue or washed denim blue here. This is a closer up of the front logo, and then this is a closer up of the side patch. So again, very, very nice hats. Very, very nicely done. If you are 7/1/8, a 3/8, which is my hat size and a half, there's still hope for you. Everybody else gotta catch it again on the restock. And I think the last hat that I would like for us to talk about, or the last couple, is this Strohs. I was
Ooh.
surprised that this one is wasn't really moving. I think that this is a very solid everyday wear. It's a logo that we don't see very often. I think the last time I've seen that brick red Astros logo used was maybe it was a NoHo exclusive. I believe there was the brown and there was the black that released a few years back. But I really like the color scheme on this. In hand, it looks really nice. If you have the brick by brick fours, I think this is definitely a good hat if you threw the white laces in there to go with. Solid, smooth, everyday wear. Um, very good crown. I believe this was a collaborator crown. Chat, correct me on who it was that was the collaborator on this because I don't want to say the wrong thing like I did last time. But really, really nice, solid crown. Hat Club Original Pink UV, the two-tone brick red and black for the Batterman. This is a closer up of the front logo and the side patch, which is the 2005 World Series side patch. Very, very good. I think this is the
The
alternate version of
actual I
it.
was gonna say the actual on-field version of the side patch at that.
Yeah, this was the alternate that from what most people would use. I
Mhm.
think Game 6 for Tab, which was Quiet Storm Rushmore 2, which was the one that most people would use. And then this last side sleeper is for you, Ben, because I was really waiting for us to be able to sit
Aw.
here and talk to you about it. Um,
Pucky!
the Pucky. green, yellow, and white. It actually made me think of Oakland Athletics colors, and
Oh
that's why I
yeah.
was like, man, it's a Hartford Whalers hat and it's Oakland A's colors. I know Ben's got to have this in the collection for sure.
I didn't buy it yet,
Mhm.
because my size is still available. I'm gonna pick it up once I get to Arizona tomorrow.
Got you. But for those people that are very solid Oakland A's fans, I would even say if you have the Shamrock SBs, I think this is a great hat to wear with it as well. I think also you have I want to say, what is it? Was it Norfolk State? I feel like that these are Norfolk State colors as well.
Yeah, it is actually.
Um, I was like,
And North Dakota State, I believe, as well.
yeah. So if you are alumnuses of any of those schools, definitely a good crown for you to pick up. Or if you just like whales on the front of your front logo of your hats, I think that this is a great
You're
pickup
a
for
marine
you.
biologist?
Yeah, a marine biologist that just likes to study whales. This is the hat for you. 6 and 7/8 through 7/7/8 is still available. Eight's cooked. So if you want to go ahead and grab that, make sure you do. And of course, don't forget your accessories. And I think, Ben, that'll do it for
Sight
yes,
sleeper.
sir. And thank you, Croats, 10. That was Lou Brims. That was on that
Yes,
Houston
it was.
Astros that I showed. Shouts out to Lou Brims. It's a great hat, brother. If it's still around, come this weekend, I definitely will be picking it up to wear with my brick by brick fours. So,
Dude,
gotta
I
do
don't know what the hell happened to my camera, but it took forever to come back on, and I think I
it.
timed that perfectly because you just carried that segment flawlessly.
Listen, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yankees for the win, third line. I'm crying.
Yankees!
But yeah, guys, great show. Shouts out also before we get started to the show. I wanted to
Yeah.
give love to Mr. Nice Pair. Big shouts out to him for selling out this past weekend at NoHo. Congratulations, brother. Very good. Very good. Billie Jean, Michael Jackson glove esque
That was a
Brewers.
good one.
That was a very good one. Shouts out to him for doing numbers with that. The promo looked great. Everything looked great. And also big shout out to our resident Cabra in the chat, Wilder, for Para Mi Gente dropping at all the stores. We saw the pictures from LA. That man that's a handsome dashing man right there. Shouts out to Wilder. But bro did a really great job with selling out Para Mi Gente in person. From what I heard at NoHo, it was just as equally a great experience. Really
I saw
proud
their
of you,
sales
man.
figures at the end of the day. It was like, God damn.
Yeah,
You know,
like
it was kind of funny not to throw Quincy on the bus. I love
mhm,
Quincy. But he was a little skeptical of how well they would
mhm.
sell after the drop because he wanted to drop them the same day as the
Yeah.
website. I'm like, bro, don't worry.
No,
The
I
community will take care of this. And
listen.
they turned up.
Listen, three things are certain in life: death, taxes, and Elk Dot completing Para Mi Gente parts 1 and 2. Elk Dot, do not make a liar out of me. You better collect every single one. I'm just riding on that. But Remy, big shouts out to Wilder. I'm gonna say it. I know that there's been a lot of collaborators that have come through Hat Club LA, but Wilder is really um, carrying that
Yeah.
culture out there as well. I saw it with the first drop and all the other things that he's done a fantastic job, and that's not to take any shine away from anybody else that's collaborated. Monster Brims has done a great job.
Yep.
Dell has done a great
Yep.
job. Mimi has done a great job.
Yep.
I just can't speak enough about what Hat Club LA is doing to build that culture out there. So big shouts out to them, Chief, Jonas, Jay, everybody. Keep continuing to keep that store positive because you can keep it growing. And shouts out to Hat Club NoHo as well.
Hell yeah.
Doing great things, doing
Still
great numbers.
popping.
And those who are in the New York area will see my bright and shining face next Saturday. So I'm excited. Yeah. So
Yes. You and
big
Jeff
shouts out to
John
the
got
home
some
team.
magic going on, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
a little bit of something going on. But big shouts out to the home team, man. We're doing a great job, and I'm happy where we're positioned in the culture, and I can't wait to see how we kick off June and take the rest of this year by storm. I'm really excited.
Big time. And I got to give a Wilder another shout out just because of the
Hmm.
fact that he showed up at the Arizona stores on what was it, Friday? Because
Hmm.
obviously the Arizona stores got the Diamondbacks version of the Para Mi Gente, and then the man made the trek to LA for his special day. So
Hmm.
I imagine he was a bit worn down by life after that. So shout out to you, man.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, big shouts out to Wilder, man. He's a consummate team player. I've known him since he was an ambassador and watched his growth and transition within the company.
Oh yeah.
Great guy. Loves hats, loves the community, and does it the right way. So big shouts out to Wilder for keeping the community great. Continue to do it, brother.
He is a Thunder fan though, so I gotta take
Gotta
personal
minimize
vendetta against that.
the compliments. After Friday, Wilder who? No.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But speaking of Friday and speaking of Arizona, as
Hmm.
a reminder to you guys, we've got the Arizona pull-up going on in downtown Phoenix at Dialog Phoenix, 1001 North Central Avenue, right between Roosevelt and Central Avenue, of course. I'm gonna be there. I'm flying out tomorrow, so I get to see all your happy, smiling faces. Kind of curious to see who's gonna show up. Obviously, Arizona, Phoenix in
Hmm.
general, always comes out and supports. I
Yep.
know a lot of guys are going to be coming in from LA, so I'm curious if anybody from the East Coast is going to be coming out as well. But yeah, it's basically going to be going on at nighttime, our first night pop up. It's going to be
Hmm.
between 5 and 10 p.m. First Friday, of course. And,
Yeah.
go out down there, buy, sell, trade anything that's legal. Anything that's legal. I got to emphasize that completely. We of course are gonna have a live DJ, some food vendors. We'll have a pop-up going on. We'll be doing some giveaways with some raffle items and stuff like that. And then we've got count them, 4 different drops going on throughout the night.
Hmm.
It will be a modified wristband system that we did in LA for the last pop-up, where basically you're drawing straws. There'll be a number written on some of the wristbands.
Hmm.
You pull, and if you get lucky, you get lucky. If you don't worry, you get another opportunity a little bit later.
Yeah.
As far as a sampling of what we're going to be dropping during that time period, of course, we've got some leftover Para Mi Gente. Ronnie Fitteds is coming out. He's got his special edition Skull Chief that we're going to be dropping.
Hmm.
Then, of course, we've got some Cattle Pack hats that we saved especially for this particular event. And last but not least, it's going to be the first sampling of Stained Glass 2.0.
Listen, big shouts out to everybody, and to Ben's point, if you don't get lucky with the wristbands, remember you're at the pull up. It's buy, sell, and trade.
Yup,
So if there's something that you wanted, maybe I don't know, you could finagle a deal. Something can happen, So I
legally.
think yes, legally, not illegally. But I mean, but big shouts out to Hack Club again for like doing stuff like this. I like it. It's a really really great concept. It builds and fosters community. I'm interested to see
Shot.
like if like for any of these pull-ups, like what's the craziest thing someone trades for? Like not again, like I'm thinking taking you guys back to like 2012 All-Star game, where bro went put on Craigslist. He wanted to sell his used car for a pair of Galaxy phones. Like I want to see
Oh,
if
yeah.
someone trades a used car for a DS Pan Dulce from Mi Gente One. That's what I want to see if that happens. I'm not admonishing that. Please, ladies and gentlemen, prioritize driving and transportation over hats. But if you just have a car that you just want to let go for a hat, I
Yeah.
just I just kind of want to see if that'll happen.
Like a 78 Ford Pinto, those are
Listen,
a dime a dozen.
just gonna throw that out there. So if you have it, let it let us know. But I really feel like the concept is super cool. And this one being at night, I'm
Yeah.
just interested to see what'll happen. What does Ben want to trade for some Suns champion heat?
Wait, where was that at? Oh, there it is.
Best of AZ?
You want to trade for some of my champion jerseys? I don't know if that's gonna happen. I might actually have one I'd be willing to let go.
Listen, ooh.
I got a double. I got a double of
Okay,
one.
okay.
So
Listen, Lil Bode and Dragon Yoda, listen, at the time, it sounded crazy, but it happened. The deal went through. I really feel like that person went into the witness protection program after he traded that car for those shoes because I've not seen hide nor tail of him since this situation happened. But again, I think it's a super dope concept. And I think that a lot of people are enjoying it and loving it. And I think it's cool that people are getting a second crack. Almost like it's like a combo of like spin the block and
yeah.
just buy, sell, trade, which I think is super duper awesome.
Somebody did ask a little bit ago if we're gonna get like an early access opportunity for Stained Glass 2.0.
Mm.
There's actually a good chance of that because we're still like a couple weeks away from like dropping the full collection. Like I said, for this Friday at the pull up, it's just going to be a small sampling for a couple people to get their hands on it early. So yeah, we could figure something out with that.
No, 1000%. I think, like I said before, I think this is what these events are made for.
Yeah,
I think it really is like so. Big shouts out to the team and those that cooked up this idea. I think it's great. The community loves it, and I can't wait to see how it grows and develops. For those cities that are like, hey, why don't y'all pull up out here? Like, I think this presents like those really cool opportunities for people to just pull up and have a good time. So
And I was gonna say, we don't spoil things or leave breadcrumbs as much as we used to, but one thing
Yeah,
I will say in regard to these pull-up events, year's not over. We're only about halfway through.
this is very true.
And, so we've already done pull-up twice in LA, so because
Mhm,
of course, we have stores in the LA market. This
mhm.
Friday is gonna be Phoenix, so of course, we have stores in the Arizona market. We still have 2 other markets that we have stores in that, perhaps perhaps.
Listen, listen, I'm just
One of
saying.
them's not too far from where I'm at.
Listen, I'm just saying, guys, resources, opportunity, it's everywhere, But I'm really excited, for what we got going on. So for sure. But I think we've foot stomped enough on
I
slight
think so too.
sneakers and the pull up. So I think the people want to see some hats. So let's show them some
I
hats.
think they do. Actually, one last I gotta get addressed. Best of
Oh yeah.
AZ. I am a man of honor. Obviously, I've got my Oregon Ducks glass here that I have every episode. Yes, the Oregon Ducks baseball team. What the fuck? You host your regional and you get stomped in 2 games and you're out. You're fucking out. And then
hmm
Oregon softball made to the Collegiate World Series. Good for them.
hmm
And then, of course, ran into the buzzsaw that is the Oklahoma Sooners, which then lost to Texas Tech, which blew my
It's
mind.
it's been a
Um,
crazy weekend for sports, man. It's been a
yeah,
crazy few.
rough day to be an
Yeah.
Oregon fan. But at the same time, if that was the sacrifice that I had to go through to get the Indiana Pacers in the NBA Finals,
Mhm.
um, I'm curious what it's going to take for them to actually win the championship.
You know, I think this is going to be probably one of the most interesting NBA finals we've seen in a while.
I agree.
I know everybody talks about, Oklahoma City and Indiana are not major markets and how the series is going to lose money, whatever. I think that this will be, if you're a basketball purist, I think you're going to love these finals. To
Dude,
me, I think you're going
totally.
to love them.
And it's like, and I know my bias is in here as a Pacer fan, but the reality is it's like 2 teams who have never won a championship are duking it
Mhm.
out. Yeah, and yes, some of you are gonna say, well, the Thunder or the Sonics organization, they have that championship from 79. That's not theirs. That belongs to Seattle, god damn it. So
Mm.
what I'm saying is correct.
Yeah, I feel like this finals will probably be like the one that we had with what was it? I think Toronto and was
Golden
it
State.
Golden State? Yeah, this kinda gives me those types of vibes
Yeah.
where, like you said, I feel like and Toronto ended up, after being in that long drought, they pulled it off, so
Yeah.
let's see. I'm interested to see. I'm gonna be tuned in on
I'm
Friday.
and
Definitely
I'm
be tuned
obviously
in.
I'm gonna be tuned in. I feel like a lot more people are gonna be tuned in than a lot of people are giving credit for. So
Yeah, I think just the path that the Pacers have had and just the run.
madness.
Yeah, I listen,
Madness.
I don't know what juju Tyrese has, but when he shot that last shot to end regulation in the Garden, I was like, you know what? It's when it's his time, when it's a team's time, it's their time. And like every single thing that had to go right for that ball to go into the hoop, that was crazy.
I love it. I love every second of it. All right.
Mhm.
We're a hat store. We're a hat company. We are going to
Yes,
show you
sir.
some hats. And
Yes,
of
sir.
course, we are going to start with tomorrow's drop, the surveillance pack, which is going to be
Mhm.
9 hats. I have them in no particular order, but I'm going to start with the Los Angeles Kings because it was right in front. All these are going to be black crown, beige camouflage buttons, and upper visors. Combination of white and metallic copper, metallic silver for the front logo. All these
Wow.
are going to be plain Janes, of course, tonal New Era flags on the opposite side, and then some same threading composition. So white, metallic silver, metallic graphite for the logo on the back. Because the LA Kings are a hockey team, of course, we've got the NHL shield on the back. All these good gray under visors, black sweatbands, hackle tag on the inside, and all these are going to be made in China. So here's
These
number one.
surprised me. These hats definitely surprised me. But in a good way.
Yeah,
I do like this Kings a lot. I think this would definitely fall into my top three. I think something just about front logo just dipped in metallic pewter is just really, really nicely accomplished. Really well done.
I need to work on saying pewter more often because I'm always just like transition or programmed to say graphite. Pewter is such a better word.
No, you listen, man. I know what you mean. The people know what you mean, Ben. We're here.
We are here. Philadelphia Phillies up next, and of course, my favorite interleague logo on the front, white
Mhm.
pea metallic pewter, with the star on the interior there. plain Jane once again. And any of these baseball ones are going to be a combination of white for the batterman, metallic silver on one side, metallic pewter on the other. Grander visor, black sweatband, hat club tag on the inside, made in China.
Yeah, I do like the I definitely do like the fact that these are plain Janes, and I think
Yeah.
that pewter star definitely makes that knocks it out. I think Big Show will like that one because there is no bell on that one.
Yeah, where is Big Show? Where you at, brother? Los Angeles Dodgers up next. So alternate logo technically. So white interior, metallic pewter exterior.
Mhm. I can
Fucking
always rely on you, best of AZ. I can always rely.
Baser Drew, you have a very valid point. Yes, I am a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, and I should be saying pewter like instinctively, and I don't. Up next, Austin's favorite New York Yankees, just going to be plain optic white, no outline around this one.
Yeah, I mean, that surprised me. That surprised me that they didn't go that way, but like you said, I think it's a very clean look, very solid every day. I like that. This is
Yeah,
definitely something I can see myself wearing.
I didn't point this out earlier, but the one thing I should point out is typically with camouflage material, it's going to be cotton. These are polyester. These are not cotton. If I can get in close enough, you can kind of see like the grain details in the button as well as on the top visor. So yes, all these are going to be 100% polyester. There is no cotton in these bad boys.
Yeah, and that top visor, that's not ripstop material, right? Or like wicking. That's just like regular poly.
It's just regular poly.
Okay, gotcha.
It's got a little bit of a shine to it though, which is kind of interesting. So, but it is poly.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely one of the things you have to see in person, kinda understand what I'm talking about here.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, looks good.
Okay.
Alright, this one came as a surprise, and this one I like a lot more just because the 1995 All-Star Game logo for the front, but of course,
Mhm.
this is gonna be the only one that has any variants of a side patch. So the Valley for the Phoenix Suns, and like I said, the star with the cactus from the 95 All-Star Game, that is gonna be white for the cactus and, of course, metallic pewter for the star. And then the traditional Shooting Suns logo is going to be on the back. So a combination of a little bit of white, metallic silver, metallic pewter. And then once again, good grander visor, black sweatband, hat club tag on the inside, made in China.
Yeah, Gillionaire. This is definitely rocketed to like my number one.
Yeah.
I think really in a weird type of way, it reminds me of like the grainy footage that people used to record of like UFOs. That
Yes.
this hat just like reminded me of that immediately with the front logo. That's a very clean front logo. I like that a lot.
Man, if Austin was here, he would just be champing at the bit hearing you talk about
Aliens.
UFOs.
He is aliens. That's what it
Alien.
is.
All right. Definitely one of the more interesting ones. It's been a while since we've done
Ooh.
the dual colorway for the interlock San Francisco Giants, but white for the S, metallic pewter for the F, and a little bit of metallic graphite on the outskirts there. Once again, this is a plain Jane, just like all the other ones. Flat stitch baddie on the back, good gray under visor, black sweatband, hat club tag on the inside, made in China. But China SFC, you're the resident Giants, Warriors, 49er fan in here. What are your thoughts on this? Because it's been a while since, like I said, we've done the dual color scheme for the SF.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like we normally do the duel with like San Diego or
Yeah,
San Diego. So shouts out to our San Diegoans if there are any people in here. But I like it. I can't Gillionaire. I don't. I've not really seen a hat that I don't like in this pack. And again, I think that there's collections that I think are just made to be just solid everyday wears. And I think the surveillance
yeah,
pack is a perfect example of that.
and I agree with that. And also, I think it was Austin who actually came up with the name Surveillance Pack, which I kind of dig more every time I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona Diamondbacks up next. So regular size D logo.
Mm-hmm.
That is brown on the inside of the scales there, but everything else, of course, is going to be white, metallic graphite, metallic pewter for you. Plain Jane as well. Flat stitch batting on the back. This one is going to be a squared off or rectangular Batterman logo. Obviously, the other ones I've shown off have had the rounded edges to it.
Mm-hmm.
But same as the others, good grander visor, black sweatband, hat club tag on the inside, made in China.
I do like this one a lot as well. I think the brown is a nice touch. Um, I have to ask Austin next time he's on next week. Did he choose the name surveillance because it's like looks like closed circuit, like basically all the logos and the choices are like all closed circuit looking like great
Mm-hmm.
almost.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say because the marketing that they did for this, like the video
Hmm.
is like it's coming out of like a CCTV camera.
Hmm.
So I'm pretty sure that was kind of the intent behind it.
Yeah. I can hear the design team now saying, wow. Tef, did it take you that much to figure? Listen, guys, I'm just had to have my Captain Obvious moment. I'm sorry.
I love that. Houston Astros up next. So early 2000s logo with the open star, white interior, metallic pewter exterior. And this is another one that's going to have the rectangular shape for the Batterman logo on the back. And of course, metallic silver, metallic pewter on either side of the white Batterman logo. It's a hair stuck this. I'm trying to grab. Good grander visor, black sweatband, hat club tag on the inside, made in China.
I do like this. I do like this a lot. As a plain Jane. When you said Astros, I was curious. It's like, which logo they're going to use? But I like the fact that they went this route, for sure. It's Ethan.
Yeah.
That's who it was. It's Ethan. That's who DM'd me after the show last week about the USC LA. That I just had to.
Oh, yeah. He's a big
Yeah,
USC
yeah. So
guy.
he was just like, and I think he said we were looking for USC hats, but not this one. I was like, well, I tried.
It's Ethan apparently stepped out for a minute. You came back at a great time because we only have one more to show off. And last but not least, the Disney era Anaheim Angels.
Mhm.
So a lot going on here detail wise. White, obviously, for the wings, metallic pewter on the inside of the A logo. Brown is the first border color, and then followed by metallic pewter, of course, on the outskirts. In my opinion, this is actually my number one hat
Mm.
for this particular pack. And I'm pretty sure it's it's Ethan 20s as well.
Yeah, I like this one. I wouldn't be mad at anybody saying this Angels is their number one. It's just something about that Valley Cactus one, man, that's just
Yeah,
mesmerizing. It's mesmerizing.
got that one as my number 2.
You got that as your number two? Okay.
That's my number 2.
Yeah. I feel like those two are duking it out for my number one and their number two. So I'm gonna go against the grain. Sorry, chat. The
No,
Valley is definitely gonna be my number one.
bring it back up.
Um, yep. The Angels for me is definitely gonna be number two.
Nice.
Yeah. And then number three. Oh man, this is really tough.
I've got it in hand. I'm predicting what you're gonna say because it's my number 3.
What's your number three?
Los Angeles Kings, baby.
Yep, and it was that
Yep,
definitely was it because I was thinking at first I was like, man, I like the Kings, but it's like that D-backs was also pretty nice too.
I
But yeah,
agree.
no, the Kings is definitely in my number three slot. So Valley, Los Angeles Angels, and then Los Angeles Kings.
Nice. And as a reminder, you guys, those are going to be dropping tomorrow, as in Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time, hackclub.com, Hack Club app. And local teams will be going to local stores, obviously. So keep your eyes and ears out for those.
Oh, Peavy, you don't know me, man. You didn't know that. I'm kidding. No, I definitely was gushing over the Kings when we first showed that one off. So definitely had
I
to.
kept that one aside on purpose because
Yeah.
I liked it as well. And I had a feeling you and I were going to be feeling
Mhm.
mutually as in our top 3 on that one. So,
Yeah, San Fran, I definitely would say is the sleep. I could see that
yeah.
Gillionaire. I think that's definitely a sleeper. You surprised it wasn't number one? I think this is one of those packs where if anybody says anything is number one, I could
It has
I
a
could
short lifespan because there's always going to be something a little bit better.
yeah, exactly, definitely.
All right, we've got one variety pack technically dropping over the next week, and that is going to take place this Friday. We've got a nice little 8-pack here. I've got them all kind of mixed up, but I am going to start because basketball season is almost over, and we were just talking about the Phoenix Suns. We have a couple new Valley hats. So
Mm,
El Valet, black crown, upper visor, orange button, bit of a plain Jane. But of course, the Suns logo is going to be on the back in team colors. Good gray undervisor, black sweatband, hat club tag on the inside, and 100% polyester made in China. These, of course, will be available at every Arizona location as well.
I do like that. I like to see it with a metallic treatment for that script. I would
Oh,
like
wait
to
till you
see
see
that.
this next one.
Mm.
Then you got the saloon style in the metallic copper for the Valley with the metallic copper star logo with a nice little finish of kind of metallic Kelly green, if you will, for the cactus.
Yeah.
95 All-Star game, of course. This one is going to be blank on the back, but of course, we all know this is going to be a Phoenix Suns hat. Good gray under visor, black sweatband, hat club tag on the inside, made in China.
Oh yeah, I'm calling that the salty spittoon right there.
Ooh,
Shouts out to those that caught that deep cut reference.
I do
But
like that.
that's tough. I like that one. I'm definitely going for that one on Friday.
Nice. A couple more basketball hats to go around. I've had more people asking if we're going to do more of these Los Angeles Lakers in this particular LA style. Of course, the
Mhm,
answer is yes. But this one, two-tone, purple crown, black button, and upper visor. Everything, of course, about it's going to be team color, including, excuse me, the New Era logo on the side, which of course is going to be tonal. Lake
mhm.
Show on the back in yellow
Yeah.
and good gray under visor, black sweatband, hat club tag on the inside, made in China.
Isn't that hat will go with the Lakers? Is it their they don't call them Connect jerseys. I think they call them something else in the NBA.
The city
The city
edition.
editions. Yeah, this will definitely go
Yep.
well with the city editions for sure.
Oh yeah. And then to all of our Filipino supporters, which there's a lot of
Mm,
you, especially in the Bay Area. Uh, Boom.
wow. So,
The Filipino Heritage Golden State Warrior. This is going to be a plain Jane, but of course the Filipino flag as the backdrop behind the new addition to the Bay
mhm.
Bridge. Black crown, upper visor, royal blue for the button. This is going to be blank on the back, tonal New Era flag on the side, and then good gray under visor, black sweatband, hat clip tag on the inside, made in China. And of course, these are currently available at Great Mall.
I like this a lot. I feel like I could think of 2 to 3 people off the top of my head that I would think immediately would need this hat. Obviously, um,
Mm-hmm.
elked out with a very good a lost Bakunawa. I could definitely see that
Yeah.
as well. Definitely feel like Lewis, one of our ambassadors, will love this hat as well. I like this hat a lot, man. Even though I'm not Pinoy, I feel like this would definitely be. It's a nice hat. I think this is like a good collector piece for sure.
And I agree with Elijah Fluellen. This will last.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that I don't see that sitting. Yeah, I don't see that sitting or even making it past the first hour or two.
no. And as I was gonna say, whatever's left at Great Mall is gonna be cooked by the end of the day on Friday as well.
1000%. 1000%.
1000%. One baseball in this variety pack, and of course, I want to hear the booze. Los Angeles Dodgers script, graphite crown, black button up top, black upper visor, and of course, a combination of metallic gold and metallic pewter for the LA script. And the Dazzler himself, Shohei Otani, who actually I want to go on a segue here in regard to the fact that and this is as of a couple days ago. I haven't checked the standings recently. Shohei Otani, of course, was leading the majors in home runs with 22. If he's gotten one since then, I apologize for not knowing this. But the mere fact that Cal Raleigh, Big Dumper, the catcher of the Seattle Mariners, tied Shohei, like we're in the midst of a great baseball season that
Yeah.
does not have a team in Oakland, of course.
Things you definitely would not expect to say in the same sentence. A catcher
Big
from
Dumper.
Seattle having the same home run season record as Shohei Ohtani. Listen,
Exactly.
I respect everybody that boos the Dodgers. I too boo the Dodgers whenever the Braves play them, but this hat is, as Grandma would say, this hat has relations. This is a great looking crown. I like that side. I don't know what it is about that side patch, but that side patch is just immaculate. It's really, really well done. Um, in the
It's kind of
kanji
funny
study,
how, like, every patch the new ones that we come out with, even though this is a patch we've done before, they just get bigger and bigger, and people just don't complain about it, which is kinda nice.
No, 1000, no, 1000%. No, it's definitely Air Spider saying that's not a patch, that's a poster. I'd,
It is.
you know what's funny, Air Spider? That I don't think it's like Boston All-Star game obnoxious. I don't think it's like that, but I think it's definitely sizable. It's definitely a sizable patch. You see the patch probably at a distance before you probably see the front logo 1000%.
Yep.
Flip, listen, don't credit me for that. Credit Grambo. He definitely he gets a lot more out of pocket in the Twitch comments, but I felt like that was the PG-13 version.
Yep. I agree with that. All right, we got 3 more for the variety pack for Friday.
Hmm.
Uh Elijah, I know this is up your alley. You're a Tampa Bay Lightning fan. Um, why am I spacing on what the is it the Gaspar or what the fuck is this logo called?
No, I think the Tampa Bay Lightning, but I'm trying to remember what the I don't know. Like ooh, that side patch is my god.
Gasparilla.
Gasparilla.
Thank you. I knew I was close on it. I just missed 2 syllables there. Gasparilla. But yeah,
Good
black
lord.
crown, button, upper visor, and yes, a nice metallic centerpiece for the 30th anniversary of the Lightning organization.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when we did this one as a plain Jane. I think no, I think it was. I don't think it was a plain Jane. I think it was a different All Star game patch we used for that one. That's
You're
disgusting. That
you're
side
right.
patch.
I know. Just I'm not a Lightning fan by any stretch, but everything about this hat just, screams buy me.
Yeah, Baser Drew. So we're on the same page. We definitely have seen it in this same color scheme, and I think it was a different All Star game patch that was a side patch. I think it's still sold out. I'm pretty sure actually it did sell out. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
this one right there, this isn't sitting. That's going.
Even like the white dome version of this hat that we did that had no side patch. Anything with the Gasparilla has been cooked.
Yeah, I feel like that's like for those that are been in the community and been around, you guys remember the well, not the Jolly Roger Pirates, but the other
Skull and crossbones.
Skull and Crossbone Pirates. That brings back that memory unlock. Please, New Era, if you're watching this, unlock that logo. I have business with
Yeah,
it.
do it for us.
Yep.
Um, is Big Show still not here? Because that man complains about us not dropping enough Philadelphia Flyers hats. And we got this one. Black crown,
Yeah.
button, upper visor, metallic pewter for the P and the wings logo. Of course,
Mm,
orange in the dot, white everywhere else around. 2012 Winter Classic in Philadelphia for the side patch, and then a combination of team color with metallic pewter for the shield on the back. This is a fucking dandy hat, despite the fact that I don't particularly care for the Philadelphia Flyers. But good
yeah,
gray
I feel like
undervisor, black sweatband, hat club tag on the inside, made in China.
we've released a few. Like I know NoHo had an exclusive at one point. And we've had a few. I think the crossover pack was another example where we had a really good flyers in there as well.
Yep,
But I'm digging this one a lot. I really, really do like it. Very
same.
clean.
And then last one we got to show you guys. It's been a while since we've had one of these, but PBJ coming back with a new hat.
Mm,
Um, it is Road Dodger colors, if you haven't noticed. So a little bit of gray for the crown, Dodger blue for the button and the upper visor, and of course the alternate PBJ mask logo on the front, tonal new era patch on the side, and the football version of the PBJ sandwich for the back logo. This one, Hat Club original, icy under visor, black sweatband, Hat Club tag on the inside, and this one is made in China. So
wait a
yes,
minute, it's Ethan. If it's not, even though it could be yes, Dodgers colors with the football, that's making me think now.
it's I mean, he is a New York Giants fan, so it actually kind of goes more hand in hand with that. So
Which is what I was thinking. That's
yeah,
exactly what I was thinking.
I hadn't seen the back logo yet, so that's
Yeah,
what I
no.
get for jumping to conclusions.
No, very solid. I
Yeah.
actually do. I mean, I know obviously we've seen the what is it, the Animorph. I think that's what we've always called it on ecom.
Yes, thank you.
Um,
I could not think of what the term
yeah,
was.
yeah, for sure. Very solid variety pack.
Yeah,
I definitely like that Valley. That Valley is the one with the saloon script or a
yep,
saloon spell out. That one's definitely coming home
it's
for
a really good
sure.
one. But as a reminder, you guys, these are going to be dropping on Friday. Hackclub.com, Hack Club app at 9 a.m. West Coast time, 12 p.m. East Coast time. Obviously, local teams will be in local stores. So both of the El Valley and the Valley are going to be in the Arizona stores. The Warrior hat, obviously, is a great mall, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
For sure.
All right. Moving on to Sunday. I don't have these in hand because there are 45, and that's not exaggeration. 45 hats dropping on Sunday. Yes, 4-5. Every single one of them is going to be an A-frame trucker because, hey, Mr. Sunshine is shining on my goddamn shoulders. Shout out to John Denver. Summer right around the corner, and we want to hook you guys up early this time around with some trucker style, and especially because A-frames are hot, we got to go with that. So I only have photos of a couple of them just to give you guys kind of examples of what we're going to be dropping. The first wave is going to be like a little bit more of a sand or a light tan with the peanut butter khaki upper visor and button. So obviously Houston Astros script is going to be in the mix. And yes, there is a lot of metallics, metallic copper, metallic royal blue that's used in this. Speaking of the 95 All-Star Game logo, the star with the cactus in the valley, New York Yankees, Austin's favorite with the rose. Oh, hey, look at that. Tucson Roadrunners. We can't do the Phoenix Coyotes, but we can still do the Tucson Roadrunners, thank God. Anaheim Angels is in the mix on this, and then Arizona Sun Devils as well. Give me one sec. I got to bring up the list. Like I said, there's 45 total dropping on Sunday, so I'm gonna have to read a lot of these off. That wasn't the right one. Sorry, I lost my place. There it is. So all these, or sorry, Stone and Brown, the peanut butter khaki. So Astros, Arizona State, Arizona Diamondbacks, Tucson Roadrunners. There is an LA Dodgers. There's a Yankees. I already showed you that. There's a San Francisco Giants. There's a Texas Rangers. There's another Diamondbacks with the inaugural patch on the side with the snake head. Obviously, I don't have photos for those. Moving on, we have a bunch of black and white ones, just plain Janes per usual. Sorry, one sec. Let me find my place. So for the black and whites, obviously we got the Houston Astros here. We got the Philadelphia Phillies interleague logo. There's going to be a Dodgers, a Yankees, a Diamondbacks with the D logo, Giants 1983 style. So that's going to be the rounded off SF. Atlanta Braves, Oakland A's, San Diego Padres, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, Detroit Tigers. There's a Chicago Blackhawks. My God. And then moving on into the denim, which obviously we have here, denim navy blue combination. Let me grab my list. So Muscle Bird for the Toronto Blue Jays, Calgary Flames, Los Angeles Dodgers. That is the last one that I have photos for. But the team list for the denim navy are going to be Dodgers, Yankees, Diamondbacks, D's, Houston Astros with the Stros written across the front. Rounded off Giants 1983. Anaheim Angel, or sorry, no. Sorry, that was the Stone Brown. So I already finished that one out. So the color scheme that I don't have photos for, unfortunately, is going to be a sorry, just lost it again. Where you at? They are going to be real tree for the front and the upper visor, black all the way around. And like I said, there's a lot of these. Those are going to be Arizona Diamondbacks D logo, New York Yankees, LA Dodgers, 83 Giants, so rounded off SF, San Diego Padres, Detroit Tigers, Houston Astros, Seattle Mariners S logo, so the block S, thank God. Philadelphia Phillies interleague logo, Atlanta Braves, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, Oakland Athletics. There is an Anaheim Mighty Ducks, Minnesota Wild, Chicago Blackhawks, LA Kings. And to finish it off, there is a Diamondbacks inaugural snakehead. Those will be the ones I just ran off are going to be the real tree camo and black combination. So yeah, 45 4, 5. Let me get this. Yeah, there we go. 45. 45
Yeah.
truckers dropping on Sunday. Those are going to take place, of course, hackclub.com, hackclub app, 8 o'clock in the morning, West Coast time, 11 a.m. East Coast time. And every store in the company already got these, already dropped most of these on the floor. So, yes. I also forgot there is an entire pack of Arizona State hats, Arizona State Sun Devils hats dropping this weekend. So keep your eyes and ears open for that.
Yeah,
Ugh.
listen, I like that. No, I think it was someone had asked about that brown Astros that you showed the first picture of, Ben.
Yeah.
That one looked really nice. Definitely looked like something I would wear with cut off flannel sleeves and some jorts and riding in a Bronco. Definitely my type of vibe. But it's Ethan with a very valid question because we did see the muscle bird on the denim, the navy with the
Yeah.
denim, and I was like, and I know we had said that the muscle bird was the muscle bird was vaulted. So is this an indication that maybe it becomes unvaulted?
There is a possibility, but then there's the more probably accurate version of the story of we got these orders in before it was vaulted, and so they
Okay,
probably just said, "Yeah, this will be like the last run or something." But I'll be
okay.
honest, I hadn't heard anything in regard to the muscle bird being vaulted, so that's actually news to me.
Yeah, I think it may have been just through the highways and byways of just hats being released.
Yeah.
It was said a couple of times. I want to say we talked about it, I think earlier, but maybe my memory is failing me. But yeah, I think
Maybe my memory's failing me, and you're the one that, I mean, you've been more
you've been
correct
on
on
it.
these things than I
I
have.
I feel like I think the Blue Jays that made an announcement about vaulting that logo. I
No.
feel like they had, and no, yeah, Cap Crusader, you're right. Austin did mention it.
Okay.
And I feel like the source was the Toronto Blue Jays that said that they were vaulting it.
Bunch of
LeBang, okay.
jerks.
So okay.
God,
Yeah.
punks.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah,
Mhm.
that's why I lean more toward we probably got the order in before it was vaulted. So
Mhm.
bummer. But hey, moving on, we got two more packs to show you guys. We just showed a some photos on Twitter and in Instagram. So moving on into Tuesday, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern, hackclub.com, hackclub app. This, of course, is going to be the gradient pack. So
Mm.
all these are going to be plain Janes, black crown button, upper visor, tonal new era flag on the side, all 5950s, but all are going to be featuring gradient logos on the front. So New York Yankees, of course, going bottom to top, navy blue to white. There is a white outline around it. Flat stitch baddie on the back. So combination of that is actually black. It's black on the inside as well as metallic silver. And
Mhm.
then good gray undervisor, black sweatband, hat club tag on the inside. And all these are going to be made in China.
LeBang, that is, I mean, I know you're asking the question, I'm hoping not exasperated, but I've noticed that we've gone. A lot of our collections have been more plain Janes,
Yeah.
which I'm honestly not mad at. I think that side patches are good, but traditional on fields before teams started actually putting or stores started replicating hats with side patches. On fields are pretty much the only way you had to go. So I think it's a nice nod to
Yeah.
that era and that time. So I'm not mad at it. I'm actually nice. I'm actually not mad, not too upset about that because it makes you focus on more design details of the hat.
Right. And I think the other portion is I don't think it was our intention to have so many plain Janes in 1 week like we
Mhm.
are this week, this upcoming
Yeah.
week. I think it was just this is when the hats arrived, and so we
Mhm.
had to fit them in somewhere because other things showed up at other times, and we already had them
Right.
placed on the calendar, so you have to move some stuff around. So I think that's honestly the bigger reason why.
For sure. PJ season, yes. I think that's a perfect way to put it. PJ season is summer season.
Next up is going to be the Los Angeles Dodgers going from bottom Dodger blue all the way to white at the top. White outline once again, black crown button, upper visor. This one is going to have the shades of blue for the Batterman logo on the back. But
Mhm.
like the Yankees before, good gray under visor, black sweatband, hat club tag on the inside, made in China.
I like that there so, like, is that the theme for each of these that essentially the gradient is like the team colors?
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I'm figuring.
Ooh, you're gonna love the next one.
Mm.
I like the route this one kind of went because Atlanta Braves goes from navy blue to red toward the top.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously the blue tones are going to be a little heavier around the corners as well as the bottom, but
Mm-hmm.
I still think overall the message is getting across.
I
And then
do
of course,
like this one. S-Man, relax. This is a great prompt.
relax.
Relax. Nah, I really do like this a lot. This is definitely one I'm gonna pick up for myself.
Oh yeah.
I just did like an inventory of my collection, and I realized that I do not have excuse me, I do not
Bless you.
have a thank you, a black and white any form of like a black Braves hat. I do not have that.
Oh, interesting.
Um so I think the last time when we had black domes, I said I was gonna get the Braves and I didn't. But this is really unique. This is very, very unique. I like it. I mean, I'm thinking of most gradient hats that I have in my collection or that are still on my wish list. Definitely getting this one. Shouts out to Cat in the Hat on his Braves, on the Apollo Braves. I really like that one as well. Um, and
God
you
damn it,
see,
Grim.
if you see Fluellen, this is why I said I gave y'all the PG-13 version. But I mean, but big shouts out to those creators that are not afraid to play around with colors. Who knows? Y'all might actually see some more gradient action going into next month for sure.
Oh yeah.
That was for the dog hairs. My bad, S
Now,
man.
this
Proceed.
one we've obviously done a couple times and a couple different variations. The Arizona script, of course, still
Mm.
in the gradient style, but this time going with the retro colors, which I'm pretty sure we actually did before. Yeah, not
Nah,
hating
I
on it.
do.
It's still a good looking hat
Mm.
regardless, but obviously this is just one of the few that we've done a few times.
Yeah, what's that side patch with the sunset? Is it the 40th for
25th.
the 25th? Okay. It gives me those types of vibes. I really like what we've been doing with Arizona hats lately. I
Yeah.
do. I know we're an Arizona-based company, so obviously why would we not show the home team some love? But I do like what we've been doing with Arizona hats lately, for sure.
We can't screw it up being an Arizona company.
Mhm.
San Francisco Giants up next. So going
Mhm.
orange to a little bit of a creamsicle into the white up at the top. Don't hate this one. Hate the team, but I don't hate this hat.
No, this is definitely another one of those good ones. I mean, the only difference between this and your traditional SF on field is going to be lack of an orange button up top
Yep.
and the gradient for the front logo, obviously. But I definitely see this as one Chana is definitely going to pick up, and I think I might grab this one as well. I think the Braves and the Giants are speaking to me.
Okay.
I do like both of those hats personally.
I of course am saving the best one for last. Hold on. Ooh.
Exactly right, Leo. You can never have enough hats.
Actually,
Have
I got to show this one next because it stick because all the ones previous were baseball. So I got to end with the baseball. We still have three more after this one. But this is the best baseball one in my opinion, and not because I'm biased. But the Oakland A's one just
mm,
came out fucking hard.
yeah, that's crazy. I do
Yeah.
like that a lot. That's nasty.
This one reminds me of there were starter jackets back in the 90s that used this type of gradient logo. And yeah, for all us nostalgic kids that only are able to hang on to our memories of the Oakland A's organization from this point forward,
Hmm.
fucking badass.
Y'all had the Athletics had gray jerseys, right, Ben?
Yeah.
There was a I feel like this is a good hat to wear with the gray jersey
Oh
or
yeah.
the black jersey, which I know they never went on field with those, right? They never did.
They did. So there were two variations. There was the all black with the green interior logos they wore for 2000, and
Hmm.
then during the years when Gio Gonzalez was there, they were all black with a white interior, yellow exterior. So yeah,
Hmm.
the A's did have a couple, but they did wear them on the field. They just didn't wear them
Okay,
often.
got you. Yeah, that second one that you described, that's the one I think I was thinking of that would go perfectly with that hat.
Yeah. All right.
Hmm.
So that's it for baseball. We got two basketball and one hockey. Um, Elk Dot, where you at? Because this one's right up your alley. The New York Knicks, baby. Bad timing, of course.
Bad timing, but great hat. I do like. Well, I like the treatment. This is the second Knicks hat that we've done. I think back to back recently because of the crossover pack,
Yep.
but just fits. I do like it a
It
lot.
does.
This is definitely one I could see people wearing outside of MSG and just kind of walking around. I do like that a lot.
Bing bong, fuck your life.
Good side talk action, man.
I mean, I feel bad for Knicks fans. Like, I'm like them firing Tibbs like shocked the hell out of me because like
I,
I felt like he
as
was
an
doing a
organ,
fine job. I just think he used his bench like too late in the series.
yeah, you don't fire a guy that gave you an Eastern Conference Finals berth in like the past 25 years, like quarter of a century, and he has
Yeah,
the most playoff series wins of the previous, what was it, 14 head coaches that they've gone through in this
dude.
span
Yeah,
of time.
I saw that stat like before we did the show, and it's just like, yeah, how do you fucking fire this guy?
It's just, you know, yeah, I don't know, but I mean, and like I said, I think Mad Dog said it best today. That team overachieved. I mean, you knocked off the defending NBA champions.
Yeah,
Not just like they were nailed by their games, like you're blowing them out the building. It's crazy.
correct. Los Angeles Lakers up next, so going purple all the way up to yellow. So very indicative of Showtime era basketball. Lakers script on the back and their typical typeface. And then like all the others, gray under visor, black sweatband, hat clip tag on the inside, made in China.
Bang, listen, I don't listen to what he says normally. He just sounds like he's rambling 9 times out of 10. But the whole soliloquy he had today about Tibbs and how they treated him, he was 1000%.
Oh yeah,
He was on point today. He was on point.
he was. And last but not least, the one hockey hat in this collection, of course, belongs to the Chicago Blackhawks. So the C with the double tomahawks on the front, which that's just a gas logo to begin with. But then, of course, going to be followed with the actual primary Blackhawks logo on the back. A lot of metallic pewter, metallic copper in the mix on that one. And like the others, good grand visor, black sweatband, hat clip tag on the inside, made in China. Boom.
Capri said, man, no, it's not the tomahawks that are gradient. Cat Crusader, it's the C.
It's the C logo,
C.
damn it.
But I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I do when I saw this one, this one definitely stuck out to me as well. I did like it.
Yeah. I mean, Blackhawks just do well, so like I already know this one's gonna go pretty quickly. But honestly, I think all the rest of the collection will do
Mhm.
pretty well. A's, I think, is gonna
Yeah.
sell out. A couple other teams I feel like are gonna sell out within like 48 hours of when we first drop.
Mhm.
But as a reminder, all these, the gradient logos, are gonna be dropping on Tuesday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, hackclub.com, Hack Club app, and local stores will be getting local
Yeah.
teams.
Very solid, very good pack. Solid everyday wears in there. Shouts out to the team, man.
Oh,
As Guyana said, it is
yeah.
PJ season, baby. PJ season.
PJ. All right, last collection we got for you guys. This is going to be dropping, excuse me, Wednesday of next week. So before we do next week's episode of recap, these are going to be dropping hackclub.com, Hack Club app at 8 a.m. in the morning, West Coast time, 11 a.m. East Coast time. Been a while since we've done a legitimate color story.
True.
So these are all the color story, and every single one of these plain Jane, but going to be brown crown, black button, black upper visor, white logo, tonal New Era flag on the side. Nothing wrong with these. Like good everyday hats. And of course, I'm starting this off with the 2025 World Series champion Detroit
Listen,
Tigers.
man, I'm calling these the coffee beans, respectfully.
Dude,
I'm-
I thought the same fucking thing, and I didn't send it to the marketing team.
I
Shit.
like these though. I mean, you call them the espressos, you call them the coffee beans, call them whatever you want, But I feel like, again, to Cap Crusader's point, I like the direction that the design team is going. I think you have to have a good balance of everyday wears, plain Janes, and everything in your collection. So, shouts out to them to kind of, when I talk about putting your wardrobe together, I always talk about having good basics. If you're just starting collecting, these are great basics to have in your collection that you could wear a bajillion different ways.
Yeah.
1000%.
100%. All these are going to be good gray under visors, black sweatband, Hack Club tag in the inside, and all these are going to be 100% polyester made in China.
The Bang is saying these need side pack, but why? Like, what? Okay, so let me ask you, chat, and as Ben is showing the hats, I'm interested to read the responses. Why do you feel that these need side
Hold
patches?
on.
Why do y'all feel
I'm gonna put you
yeah,
on the
like,
big screen on
so
this
why
one.
do you feel these
This is Tef
yeah,
Talks,
yeah, but
baby.
I feel like, yeah, this might be a segment. Why do y'all feel that they need side patches? I feel like these look really, really nice, solid everyday wears. Now I understand from a collecting perspective, side patches are desired because I know sometimes I catalog my hats by looking at the side patch and the colors. But
Mhm.
I feel like these are solid. I think these are things you will wear any day of the week. I just want to know why the side patches are needed. I just want to know.
I'll say
I just want to know.
personally for me, a side patch to me is not a selling point for me to buy a hat, except once, and that happened a couple days ago because I had to go through New Era to get the Indiana
Mm.
Pacers NBA Finals hat. That was a rare exception to my rule. But as far as anything else, I mean, the crossover collection is a prime example of that. None of the NBA hats in that mix had side patches. The hockey ones did, sure.
That's true, and Grandma, I understand that. Trust me, I catalog my hats a lot of times when I'm searching for them by side patch, so I know what I have. I'm just saying that I think to me, you my plain Janes I store differently. I think that that's just for me, for how I organize my collection, my side patches and my, I guess you could say more unique one of one hats I put in one place. My, plain Janes I put in a different place. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I think as you get older and maybe you're going into more refined environments, if you will, I would say that a plain Jane does a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, doesn't mean I don't love side patches. I like the fact that it seems like the design team is cleansing the communal palette. You know what I mean? Of like
Yeah.
being so side patch heavy. Like sometimes it's cool to just have some smooth every day is in there just to kind of help you get through and do what you got to do.
I will agree with a lot of you in the sense where it's like it adds value to have a side
Yes.
patch to the hat. Like I totally get where you guys are coming from.
Okay, Gillionaire. So I'll
Um
bite. No, I don't think that I would have gotten this if it didn't have a side patch. But you're also asking the person that made the hat, would I do that? So no, I never intended for this to be a plain Jane. But that being said, I don't have I have no issue. I have no beef with the lack of side patches as of lately. But I just think, yeah, I mean, and yeah, Fluent, I think that a larger conversation like what Fluent is talking about is there as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not really been so long. Like there used to be a time where like when you watched baseball and there was an anniversary or a stadium anniversary or a special game, like you had to be at the stadium to get that hat. And those were typically
yes.
very exclusive. So the idea that now retailers can reproduce it, it's just again, no shade towards it, but I'm glad that we're kind of doing it.
No. And then Leo V brings up an interesting point because I feel the same way, especially as somebody who predominantly collected on-field hats. He says, as an OG cap collector, I was used to no side patches for like 20 years, and I was anti side patch. But once I saw how they were telling a story to complement the color scheme of central theme, they really started to grow on me. Now I prefer side patches, but I still got love for the plain Janes. And I'm the exact same way with you on that one,
Yeah,
man.
I think it's just, fashion hats back then just used to be hats that were just non-team colors. Like that used to be what
Yeah.
a fashion hat was. And then like we said, side patches developed and that's what kind of changed the game, so to speak. But then even then, like there's requirements for those that are designed, certain logos you can't use with certain side patches just because of time differences and things like that, except for when you're getting into timeline hats and stuff like that, which is slightly operates under
Yeah.
different rules. But I don't mind it. I think it's good that we're kind of getting back to our roots in a way.
G. Laurent, have we talked about the Phoenix pull up? Yeah, we dedicated like 10 minutes at the start of the show to it. Don't worry, I'll bring it up again at the end. So we're on our last collection. We had to do a sidebar in regard to patch hats versus
Yeah,
plain Jane for a
I
second.
definitely
Since this whole week is a lot of plain Jane drops. But like I said, we're gonna go back to side patches next week.
all I need is like extra credit for somebody. Put my face like what is it? I think it's Tangled where they all have the knives or the swords around bro who's the protagonist that's helping out. Like I think it's the one where they say like what's something that everybody will hate you for. if someone could Photoshop my head on that meme and saying I'm cool with plain
Ah,
Janes, I really just want to see that happen so I could repost it.
yeah, I I'm right
Yeah.
there with you, man. All right, back to the coffee beans as we're calling them now. I'm giving full credit to Tef on that one.
Hmm.
So 1925 Philadelphia Phillies up next. So yes, brown crown, black button, and upper visor plain Janes, and black and white flat stitch baddie on the back. Good gray under visor, black sweatband, hat clip tag on the inside. Made in
I
China.
really do like the fact that we've been integrating the old English P on Philly's logo into a lot more of our hats. And on this
I
hat,
agree.
it's
I was gonna say
perfect.
it's
It's perfect.
100%. Oakland Athletics is up next. A apostrophe S logo on the front. Flat stitch baddie on the back. Good gray, black sweatband, hat clip tag, made in China.
Yep. Like I said, these yeah.
Uh, w- wouldn't be a pack, of course, without an or sorry, Chicago White Sox. I don't know why out of the corner of my eye I saw this as an LA hat. Fuck. Only team in Chicago, the Chicago White
Bro,
Sox.
reached you probably were reaching for the LA Dodgers, and that's that you came up with.
Hold on. Let me make sure there's actually a Dodger even in
I
here.
know.
No,
There's
there's not.
not?
Holy shit.
Wow.
Wow. Hey, I'm allowed one fuck up a week, and that was my big one right there. Atlanta Braves up
Yep,
next. So this one reminds me a lot of
it
Manolo's hat.
does.
I mean, unintentionally, it just
Mhm.
happens to be just the color scheme, but obviously Manolo's was brown and navy blue, of course, with the pink bottom.
Yeah, I mean,
But
definitely
still,
when I saw it, it reminded me of that as well. Shouts out to Manolo, man. If you don't
yeah.
know, I mean, you got the clay bottoms, you had the mud bottoms. Again, did great. Thanks for putting Atlanta on the map with respect to High Club. So big shouts out to him and continued success and whatever and wherever he is. He definitely I owe him a hat or two of mine. So definitely gotta get him one.
Speaking of
Yeah.
Atlanta, I'm gonna go to dual window
Hmm.
on this one. So I sorry,
Hmm.
sidebar. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left to
Hmm.
go, so don't worry. But I had to bring this
Okay.
story up. So when my wife and I were in
Hmm.
Vegas, I think it was our first night, actually, our first night in Vegas. We were at Bellagio. We were so actually it starts. We were playing blackjack at Park MGM, and this dude comes up to me while I'm at the table, and I'm several drinks in at this point, and he's like looking at me, trying to figure out who I am. I'm looking at him because he looks like my older brother Adam, so it threw me through a loop. But then this dude is like, "Wait, aren't you the guy from Hat Club?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So sat on the table
Hmm.
with us for several hands, to which case we went on an absolute fucking heater on the blackjack table, like Rain Man shit. Um, but later that night, we met back up with them, because it was him and his wife, and we parted ways because they were off to go to bed because they had a flight the next morning, and then my wife and I were on the way out of Bellagio, and then another group of guys, like, spotted me, all from
Hmm.
Atlanta. Daniel is the guy's name who spotted me because, 1, I was wearing like a button-up shirt. I wasn't wearing a basketball jersey
Wow.
or anything
Okay.
like that. And then I think I was wearing a Diamondbacks hat, which also I usually never
Hmm.
do. But yeah, guys from Atlanta. It was somebody's 21st
Mhm.
birthday. He's a Georgia Tech a
Woo, woo,
student
woo.
currently, like you. He wants to get into
Mm,
fashion. I told him, hey, talk to this guy, talk to this guy, to which case it was UTEP and it was
yeah,
Manolo. He hadn't heard of either of you, which is not a
no,
knock, but
yeah.
younger guy. So yeah, had to give a shout out to
Not
them.
listen, I
So
mean,
they were very pleasant dudes, despite some other weird ass dude from Germany who ran up like between them, and I shit you not, grabbed my nipples and then ran off. This is a real thing that fucking happened at the
that's
Bellagio.
wow. I think at that moment, for me, that would have been a sign, like, I gotta go to bed. Um,
No, that's exactly what
I'm like
happened afterwards. Like, I'm
it's
fucking
just like,
out of
I don't
here.
really know what else I don't know what to do at this point. I don't know whether to pursue you to, like I listen, dude, I'm just like, "You know what, man? as Spider-Man, everybody gets one. Everybody gets one. You
Yeah.
got your one. I bet you won't come back and run and try to do that again.
I felt bad because I thought so those 3 guys, I think I don't know if they were under the impression, like, I knew that guy who ran up and did that because I did not. Thankfully, Daniel and I swapped, like, Instagram info because I hit him up the next day and I'm like, "Dude, that guy that came out of nowhere and just grabbed my nipples, I had no idea who that fucking guy was."
I don't know why that sentence just made me die laughing. It's like if I feel like if someone said that, I'd be like, "Okay, all
Yeah.
right."
It was
Oh,
awkward as
man.
hell. And then, yeah, my wife was on the other side. She didn't see it happen, but I just, like I got up and I looked at her and I'm like, "We need to leave now."
That's definitely a thing where you just in the Uber ride back home or the walk home, it's just like
Oh, it was the walk back. It was just like, yeah,
it's like, "Listen,
like, what the
I got
fuck?
violated. I don't wanna talk about it. Let's just go home."
Yeah. I'm gonna go take a cold shower now and, just sit in the bathtub and, like,
Yeah,
cry and cry
he
and
owed like,
cry.
yeah, that guy
Yeah.
owed me a drink and just ran out. It's like, "You know what? This is crazy."
No, so my wife saw him we saw him earlier. I'm sorry, I'll get back to the
Yeah.
hats, I promise. This is a very long and awkward segue. So my wife had won, like, $200 like, back to back on this one
Mhm.
slot machine. And that dude, like, popped out of nowhere and was, like, trying to, like, hang out with us and whatever, and we all just looked in his eyes, and it's like, "Dude, you were fucking strung out on something," but we could not figure out what it
That's
was.
but
And my wife, being a doctor, like, she knew the guy was, like, looped
no,
out on
man.
something.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you know what? Maybe that was the height of his experience, Ben, so I he's he was here, he's like, I mean, hopefully by the time he ran away from you, whatever he was on wore off, hopefully.
No.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it was
Crazy.
bizarre. It
No,
was
you're
bizarre.
good.
And usually I can, like, be cool in weird situations like that, but that was, like, one of the few times where it's like, "Okay, this is awkward as fuck because he just wanted to, like, hang around. I'm like, "No, you need to get the fuck away because
Yeah,
'cause we're leaving."
exactly. Yep. Totally
Yeah,
appropriate.
totally. Anyway, back to hats. Um, like I said, we got 7 more to show off for the coffee beans here. San Diego Padres up next, which of course is not a outside the box color scheme for
Mm-mm.
them. It
Yeah.
works. Brown is a primary color for them. White logo, of course, the current interlocking SD logo on the front.
I do like this. I like how this is executed. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody was asking, hey, how about those New York Mets? Hey, how about those New York Mets here? Not the tricolor, just the basic white, single layer. It's not flat, so don't worry. Don't when I say single layer, I wasn't implying that. But yeah, brown and black, two tone, coffee bean.
Okay. I I knew Cap Crusader was in the cut somewhere. Yeah, I mean, see what I'm saying? Like he said, I'm boycotting. Oh yeah, we understand Cap Crusader.
Wow,
He's looking
haters.
for the tritone. This is one of those packs where I feel like no, don't boycott Cap Crusader. You Small Feet Big Heat gave you a tritone Mets this year, but I understand you want more, and that's understandable. It's understandable.
Oh, bro, you get more. Don't worry, you'll get more. We're gonna cram it down your throat.
I'm just trolling. I'm messing with you, brother. It's all good.
San Francisco Giants up next. So for any of you guys who are in the Bay Area, think of this one as like former Muni colors back when they were brown and orange. But brown crown, black button, black upper visor, white logo.
I like I definitely feel like that's a Eisenhower Dickies style hat right there. Like you wear the black
Yeah,
jacket, white t-shirt, that on, eh, going for it.
going for it. Austin's favorite New York Yankees up next, of course.
Nah,
Eh.
you know.
And these last three I saved for last on purpose because there's a little bit more of a color variation that goes with them. Starting with the Houston Astros first. So black star in the background. Come on, focus.
Yeah.
Focus. There we go. White H, and of course the drop shadow on this is white as well. But this is one of the few that actually has more than one color involved with the front logo.
I very much like this. If you have the original Travis Scott's, yes, this is that hat's built for
Yeah.
that. Combo all day, every day.
Up next, Arizona Diamondbacks A logo. This time we're incorporating metallic gold border around the outskirts, black scales, white interior.
I'm liking this a lot.
I know, kind of makes me wish a lot of the other ones had a gold accompaniment, but I get why they didn't because if we're just using traditional logos, there's only the one logo color involved. But something more detailed like this, of course, is going to have the option for a
So
metallic gold
Cap
border.
Crusader, if there was something like this for the Mets, yeah. See, Gillionaire, he knew exactly where I was going with that. Exactly. You
Yep.
know, those colors in there would have I think that would have brought Cap Crusader out of boycott for sure. But no, this is very nice. I do like the metallic gold on gold or
Yeah.
any shiny thing against earth tone colors always is gonna hit. So I like it. He said I would have liked it. I bet you would.
Would have liked it. And the last one we have for you, yes, it's Ethan 20. This one's for you. Once again, Disney era Anaheim Angels
Hmm.
logo. Little bit of a light brown interior with the A logo, white for the wings, but once again, metallic gold for the border. Let's
Hmm.
be real, this is probably the best one of this particular collection. I feel like Tef, you and I can
I
agree
think
with
we can.
that. Um, but in regard to just the basic white logos, I'm a sucker for the Detroit Tiger one
Yeah,
for many reasons,
for
but
for futures and bets and obvious reasons.
for futures,
Yeah,
yes.
but I definitely do like the gold touch on the Angels. I do like that. I'm kind of torn between them and the Astros. Um, I think just something about that triple white for the H and then the black underneath,
Yeah.
it just pops. I like that.
Yeah.
Um, my third slot really is a toss up. It really could be any of them, but I mean, because I'm a homer, I'm obviously gonna say Braves. I think is gonna be
Nothing wrong
is
with that.
probably gonna be my favorite, also because of our Manolo conversation. So I think, like
Yep.
I said, those would be my three if I was picking.
But, I gotta give more love to the White Sox again because I fucked up and thought it was a Dodger hat looking at the corner of my
Yeah.
eye. Yeah, somehow not a Dodger hat in this mix, but we've done Dodgers in this color scheme many times
Mhm.
before with a patch, without a
Upside down.
patch. So it's not a real surprise that we did not have it in this particular mix, but once again, these are dropping next Wednesday, 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. East Coast time. Not the official name, but we are going to make it the official name here on Recap.
It
Coffee
just
Bean.
makes sense. I mean, I think it
Good
just
call,
it
man.
just does. Shouts out again to the design team on that. Like I said, I think it's always easy to kind of do what the culture is doing. As like, so I like the fact that they're emphasizing the PJs
Yeah.
again. I think this is really cool. Um, and again, solid everyday wears. You know, I think that's why we have collections like this because it's easy to just get up with exclusive, 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 exclusive. But I feel like you have to have that cleansing of your palette period where you're able to get things that are accessible. And for everybody for that matter, except for Dodgers fans for the coffee bean. I'm sorry, but to be fair,
Wait a minute.
y'all have had pretty much a hat in every single collection that we've ever done, with exception of very few, very very few.
Apparently, I need to bust Philly 42086's balls. There is a Detroit Tigers one. What are you
Yeah,
talking about? That was the
that
first
was
one I
def-
showed off,
and he
pal.
definitely said,
Now, in your defense, we did go off on several
yes,
tangents. Yeah, so yeah. But there is a Tigers one
yeah,
in this. Don't worry.
and yeah,
Um,
man,
oh, give me one sec. I got to bring this back up. For G Laurent, and as far as kind of a good closing. No, you're
you're
Philly.
good,
You're
you're good.
good, man. Like I said, we were spouting off some weird
Yeah,
shit.
man,
Mainly
yeah.
me talking about some German dude grabbing my nipples while I was having a
Listen,
conversation with three lovely gentlemen from
yeah,
Atlanta.
it was good for Atlanta, bad for Vegas, bad Vegas, or
Bad for Vegas. Don't do that to
or
people you don't
bad
know.
Deutschland man for running around Vegas twisting random strangers' nipples. Wrong.
Tripping his balls
Craziness,
off. Yeah,
shenanigans.
craziness. Like Detroit Tiger tripping balls logo.
Right.
Like it looked exactly like
Oh
that.
my
It was
goodness.
hilarious. But as a reminder, this one's for you, G. Laurent, and anybody else who missed the top of the
Hmm.
show. Friday, June 6th, that is this upcoming Friday, is the Hat Club Phoenix pull up. 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. downtown Phoenix, 1001 North Central Avenue at Dialog Phoenix. Your boy is going to be there. I'm flying
Hmm.
in tomorrow because Wilder and I are apparently going to have a pit fight tomorrow in regard to the Pacers versus Thunder game
Listen,
before the game
if
starts.
water sweeps the leg, Ben, I'm just telling you. I don't know. Like I've never seen Wilder aggressive, but I feel like he gives me Ralph Machado
Neither
type
have
of
I.
vibes. You know, it's
Yeah.
it can get dangerous for you in there, Ben. Stay vigilant out there.
I was gonna say we should probably start, charging people, put this on pay-per-view or something like that. But on the bright side, the corgi that picks like all the winners of championships did pick the Pacers in 6.
And
I was actually blown
didn't the
away by
corgi
that.
did the corgi
And the corgi has been right for every series for the Pacers so
that's what
far.
I was gonna say. He was right for the Pacers as well. Best of AZ with a very interesting drinking game. He said every time SGA goes to the line, Ben, you have to take a drink.
What do I have to drink?
I'm,
Like a sip of beer? Like I could do
yeah,
that. If we're talking like liquor, I'm gonna
yeah. If
die by
he
the end of
what was he
games if I was
averaging? I think it was like 8 to 9 free throw attempts a game. I think at that one point, yeah,
yeah.
which is crazy because he's not even. I don't think he even cracked the top 10. I think for most free throw attempts in a season in a postseason run
No.
combined. Craziness.
Well, and especially considering the fact that the Pacers go into that type of a player who gets fouled at regularity the way that he does. I mean, they just beat Jalen Brunson the Knicks for the second year in a row. And Brunson's that type of player. I'm not hating on it. Like it's frustrating to
Hmm.
see an opposing team, writhe and wiggle their way into a foul, but the Pacers are smart on defense especially to get around
Hmm.
that. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's what
Hopefully.
I'm thinking. Nemard and them just have to play defense, like stay in front. Don't get lazy. Don't play defense with your hands because that's where you open yourself up to him doing that. And I think, like I said, I think getting if they get Miles Turner and a lot of their longer bodies, like Pascal Siakam, and get them in foul trouble early, then it's going to be difficult, especially Jalen Williams for OKC. OKC's got about two or three guys. I think that you give them the ball in triple threat, they can go get a bucket. Chet, SGA, and Jalen. Lou Dort, I don't really consider like that. He's definitely capable of getting a bucket, but like I said, I think this is a really evenly matched series. Chet's probably the tallest, but I mean, I say you got to guard him by committee. So Turner, and then throw Brian at him a couple of times, maybe even get Siakam, rotate him
Yeah.
on him a little bit. Just make, like I said, it's like Tyrese. It's if you go headhunting for him, other guys are going to beat you. And I think OKC is the same way. It's like if you go after SGA and turn him into a facilitator, it's like, I don't. That's the only thing I have not seen OKC win yet. I mean, SGA definitely has had not great games in the sense of like over 30 points, but I haven't seen him be like a Tyrese where even if he's not scoring 20, his team is still,
Yeah.
doing that. So I think it's an evenly matched series. I like to see,
I
yeah.
I agree. And honestly, both teams have incredible depth on the bench. I feel like the Pacers have a little bit of an edge in that department, like solid minutes out of Ben Shepherd, Thomas Bryant, and Tony Bradley,
Yeah.
especially. Did not see that one
Yeah,
coming.
and I mean, you got Obi Toppin that's also coming off the bench as well. I mean, they have guys
Dude,
that
yeah.
they have a solid bench, not even to mention guys that can, when Tyrese sits, they can still score. So I think that's really just it's gonna be a game of adjustments. Rick Carlisle is a good coach. I feel like he's been out coaching most of the
Yeah.
matchups he's been in. So I think this is just gonna be a game of adjustments, defensive schemes, throwing different things at SGA to make him uncomfortable. And for the if I'm OKC, it's you got to contain Tyrese. Contain him not in the sense of keep him from scoring, but make him make the right read every time. And if he can't, them
Yeah.
turnovers are going to kill him. So I think it'll be interesting.
And thankfully he doesn't get a lot of
Yeah,
turnovers.
yeah. Caruso and Dort will have a listen. I mean, Grambo, you say that, but it's like when you look at how I mean, essentially, New York guarded Tyrese by committee, and he turned in arguably the greatest stat line in playoff history. So that's where I say again, I see Cali probably having 20 points per game this series. I think that that's possible for him. 20 points per game. I say he could average a double double. 20 points per game, 10 assists. I think that's
Yeah.
possible for him. If not 20 and 10, 18.5 and
I
9.
realistically I see more 15 and 10. I mean, that's just me
Mhm.
playing
Yeah,
fair.
I feel like this series will force him to he'll have to be a facilitator. He's just gonna have to pick his spots, and I think that that was something Reggie
Yeah.
commented on during the games with the Knicks. It's like sometimes he becomes too much of a facilitator. It's like, no, bro, you got to go get a bucket. You know,
Correct.
you have to be able to kind of balance that. But he's young, he's still learning, and I think that's the good thing
Yeah.
about this series. But can Hallie handle? I mean, but the only reason,
It's not gonna be Hallie's not gonna be stuck on SGA. It's gonna be Nemhard or it's gonna be Ben Shepherd off the
Mhm,
bench
for
for
sure.
sure. TJ McConnell off the bench for sure. Nebhard from a starting position is gonna be guarding SGA. And then maybe Aaron Nesmith if they have to do a switch up.
Yeah, I feel like Nesmith, I think, will be it'll be interesting to see. I don't know the heights between Nesmith and Jalen Williams, but I feel like that would might be something where I see them put him on him for a while. Cause even when they put Nesmith on Jalen, it's like you saw it made it difficult for him. So like I said, I mean, the Knicks don't have a Caruso or a Dort. I mean, but again, they guarded you had guys that were guarding Hallie by committee, and that was the main thing that used to piss me off about the Knicks was that they kept playing drop coverage against the Pacers. I did not understand that
Yeah.
at all. It's like Hallie is probably one of those players that does not like physical contact. And the fact that you kept dropping under the screen and letting him get space to make the right read is insane to me. Like, and they made this mistake time after time after time. And I'm like, at some point, you got to stop letting this man burn you. Or like the end of that game, when Neesmith went off for all those threes, I'm like, if somebody don't fight over a damn screen to get to touch this man, come on, bro. Like, what are we doing? Like, you can't play.
Yeah.
I'm
I was very
no,
happy
I
about
trust
that
me.
though.
It I mean, as an offensive player, you have to take what the defense gives you. And if you're willing to still play off of a man that's hit 3 to 4 threes back to back to back to back, I just at that point you deserve to lose. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
Correct.
Elk Dot. I'm not trying to be not trying to rub salt in that wound, but that was just a point of contention with me a lot. I think the games that the Knicks won, you saw them be a lot more physical. They were fighting over screens, they were hedging, they were making Hallie and other players make the right reads, and that's where you saw the turnovers start to happen. But to that end, to third in line, you can't play cat and drop. You and that's the thing. It's like you have to play you have to either have a big that's athletic enough to go out to the perimeter and do that for you. And the Pacers have that. You got Obi Toppin, you got Pascal, you got guys that are athletic and long and can essentially recover if they get beat. You know, the Knicks, Mitchell Robinson was good for the offensive glass, but Cat is athletic. I don't want to say that he's not, but I think
Yeah.
when you're asking him to do both on both ends of the floor, that's a lot. You know, he shoots threes, but he's still a traditional big man. He ain't galloping up and down the floor like that, at least for long spurts for that way. I
Correct.
mean,
I will say the one guy in OKC who concerns me, and he was a guy who concerned me last year against the Pacers, Hargenstein.
yeah, I think that OKC's strength is that their front court is large enough to where those little floaters that Hallie likes to do. I think that if they're playing smart pick and roll, a lot of motion. I think that this is a series Naismith can shine. Like as far as if
Yeah.
they read the motions right. But I mean, like I said, as tall as the OKC's front court is, the Pacers have a formidable front court as well. I think it's just to me, Marcus Stein to me plays too much like a big man, and whereas you have
Yes.
a guy like Pascal, you have a guy like Miles Turner that can kind of pull him out. I think those are the things that I think OKC are gonna have to deal with. Miles Turner can shoot. Neesmith can shoot. There's a lineup that the Pacers can run where essentially positions 1 through 5 can shoot. They're a legitimate threat to hit the three.
Yep.
So, that to me is just interesting. But I mean, OKC is I think where OKC matches up well with the Pacers is you got Jalen, you got SGA, and I guess you can maybe say, Chet to a larger degree is probably gonna is are guys that can go get a bucket. So, I
Yeah.
think that it's gonna be who's gonna stop who. Um, who's gonna stop who. But I mean, yeah.
Chet, yeah, I say Chet's like the one outlier I still can't figure out
Mhm,
because, yeah, he's got solid moves for a big
mhm.
man because he's so light, like, but he doesn't have any weight on him.
Yeah, I
And I mean, realistically, he could get like Indiana's got some muscle down low if they really want to, and they could just like
yeah, he Chet
break
kinda
him.
reminds me a little bit of Victor in the sense of I think
Yes.
he's thin enough and slender enough to kind of post move and do different things, so and he's a stretch, so you can pull you away from the basket, but that's the thing, Pacers have big men that are positioned to both play down low and away from the basket. Pacers' biggest thing is just to stay out of foul trouble. If they can keep their bigs
Yes.
disciplined,
100%.
then I think that you're going to make OKC work for every point, which is what you want. Most of the games that I've seen OKC lose is because teams play disciplined defense and don't foul. If you do
And
that and you can keep the game close, yeah.
and realistically, Denver should have won their series against
Yeah.
OKC. It's
It's one of those types of things where one team just I mean, yeah, it's Captain Obvious statement, right? One team made more shots than the other, but that's just how that goes. I mean,
I was gonna say there was one guy I blame Denver losing that series, and his name is Michael Porter
yeah,
Jr.
it's just, I think there are those moments where as a team, when you look back, you just, yeah, you wish that you could get some of those possessions back for sure. If you're Denver, but again, I mean, to push a one seed all the way to a game seven, or yeah, this is something because I was like, are they going to collapse again? Because remember, OKC with Kevin Durant,
Yeah.
3-1 lead, let it go.
Yep.
So I mean, I think it shows me that this group is for real, and they've been doing really well the last couple of years. So I think I'm interested to see what they do in the championship round. Man, SGA seems good. I mean, MVP season probably is gonna if they win the finals MVP. But I really I think this for some real weird reason I just feel like this is Tyrese's year. I don't know why. It's just every single the way I think what told me is how handily they beat Cleveland. I think it was like that to me was when I started to say, okay, that series shouldn't have went that way. And same with Boston,
Yes.
how Boston exited. I mean, aside from the Jason Tatum injury, which we obviously understand injuries are part of the sports, it
No,
happens. I that
Boston's game of just, like, shooting as many three-pointers as humanly possible was just so poorly thought out. They had no inside presence, and the Knicks capitalized on it. So it made sense to me the Knicks were gonna win that series against
yeah,
Boston.
they just were positioned better, I think. I think
Yeah. Like, it's funny to me, the best game that Boston played is when the game after Tatum got
yeah,
hurt.
I mean, because now at this play in that position, players gotta play, show up bigger than themselves to, essentially, close that game out. But I mean, Grambo, I think that you're probably with the majority opinion just because of what people have seen from OKC. But I don't know. I just feel like the Pacers have just consistently been a team that's like when I look at championship teams of the past, whether you talk about the Dallas Mavericks team that romped through the West and beat a Kobe led
Yep.
Lakers and and essentially ended up a lot of people forget that Dallas team in 2011 when they went, how many teams they actually had to go through in the West to get there.
Yes.
And this Pacers team feels like that. They feel like that. None of their series have gone out to seven. They've been handily decided in less than that. So
Yeah, 2-5, 1 and
yeah,
6.
it's
Like,
like so. I mean, I think that they're gritty, and I think that when you're talking about a championship team, I like how they're constructed. Um, but like,
there's no Dirk on the Pacers? I mean, yeah, I mean, Miles Turner's the closest, and you can even say Pascal's the closest they
yeah,
have to Dirk,
probably yeah,
but not to the ability of what Dirk, displayed
nah.
during his career. I'm not saying, but I mean, as far as length and depth of shooting on the court, that's about the closest you
And
can get.
Grambo, like,
And those are 2 pretty good fucking guys to have in your starting rotation.
and the crazy thing about it, James Grambo is yeah, you're right. They don't have Dirk, but the closest thing, like Ben said, to Dirk is probably Pascal because that was the same Pascal that was on that Raptor squad that was essentially helping Kawhi during that run.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be disrespectful to Dirk and say he is Dirk, but I definitely will say that I think that their skill sets and what they're able to Pascal like no,
I'm not I'm not saying Pascal is Dirk. I'm saying from a body
yeah,
standpoint and for the type of game they
yeah.
play, that is the most comparable player. Miles Turner, you could say as well, because Miles Turner is 6'11", 7 feet, can shoot a 3-pointer, has an inside presence. That's what I'm
Grambo,
saying.
you
I already said flat out that Dirk is infinitely better than both
yeah,
of those two.
Grambo,
Like, come on.
we all of us that know ball, no one would say if you had a choice between
Grambo, you're just making shit up in your
yeah, if
head.
you you know,
That's the
if
problem.
we were sitting here and had a draft and we were getting a prime, well, and yeah, you getting a prime 2011 Dirk versus Pascal Siakam when he went with the Raptors and Kawhi, I'm taking Dirk every day of the week. Just off skill set. I mean, let's be
Yeah.
rational here, but we are saying build. You see, fuck, he's okay, cool. I'm glad we understand. We haven't reached that point of no return. But we will say body type, physique,
Yes.
I don't even really want to say style of play because that can be ambiguous. I would
That's why I'm going with range.
yeah.
Range of shooting
Yeah,
ability.
I feel like Pascal can definitely give you he can give you that style of offense at the four position. I think he can at least give you, points like stuff like that you would expect a guy that's not a back to the basket like a traditional four, like not like a Chris Webber or not like someone that and that's not even a comparable comparison either because Chris Webber didn't always play back to the basket. He was a slasher. He had a decent enough mid-range
Yeah.
game to where you couldn't essentially make him confine him to the block. So I mean, yeah, I think in that sense of international players that are stretch fours that are able to pull their defender away from the paint into the short corner, Pascal definitely is one of those guys for sure.
And Pascal has probably one of the best fadeaways currently in the
Yeah, I mean
NBA.
he put it on display that series with the Knicks. 1000% definitely put it on display for them. But either which way, I'm excited for game one and it kicking off. I think this will be a lot more of interesting of a series than a lot of people will give it credit for. I know everybody's like, oh, it's not gonna be watched.
I
It's like, no, I think it
100%.
will be.
It will be. And yeah, and I was gonna say, I think for anybody who is a fan of basketball should be tuned
Yeah.
in. Like what's his nuts from Colin Cowherd show, which Colin Cowherd screwed that guy to begin with. Like going off about how, well, this isn't a superstar matchup. Those are the only interesting. Like, fuck that,
No.
dude. Sorry that no namers, quote unquote, are getting their fucking time to shine and prove themselves on the biggest fucking forum
I
there
hate
is.
that pundit point of major marketing. Listen, it's you don't get to choose who you get to play against. Who you play against is who you play against.
Correct.
And if Boston could be there, they would have been there. If the Knicks could have been there, they could have been there. You know what I mean? It's like it's a game of adjustments, and Pacers did what they needed to do. So that's just my perspective. Speaking of people doing what they need to do, obviously we have some other good items coming very, very soon down the line.
Hey,
But for those that are asking, yes, this is mine, and very good hats coming down the way. I will be in New York.
what else you got in your hand
Yeah, I
there?
got so obviously we have the Brewed in Medellin. So very good Milwaukee Brewers crown. Um, one would say that you could catch a really nice Medellin sunset with this hat. Um, Heckler
Ooh.
Original Pinky UV, Black Guts, made in China. Bam. That's number one. Number two of mine that I created for this pack is called the Good Feeds pack. This will be dropping at NoHo. Next up here.
Hold on one
Okay.
sec.
Yeah.
I should
Okay.
have done this to
So
begin
this
with.
is for those that wanted to see a closer up, image of it. This is the Brewed in Medellin. Um, there we go. 2002 World All-Star Game side patch. Got your good two-tone battery back there. Pink UV, black guts, made in China. That's hat number one. Number two, we have the flights from the 410. So it's a Baltimore Orioles.
Ooh.
So real good metallics on the inside. A different color green that I experimented with and came out really nicely. And we have the side
Yeah, I
patch,
did.
the 50th, some metallic gold, some good green in there. Definitely a shoe that if you like Nike basketball and flight posits, I don't know, maybe a good thing for you. Good two-tone Batman right there, gray UV, black guts, made in China. So those are the two of mine. Next up is shouts out to my boy Just John because we collaborate on this pack together. Um, Creep Boy
Whoa.
Braves. So good stone, navy two-tone right here. Good 1999 side patch right here. If you like Air Force Ones, this might be a good hat for you, specifically ones that say "It's Us" on the insoles. Gray UV black guts, another great one made in China. And then
That stone navy combination
that's
just
that's a beauty. And if you like that one,
so
the
good.
second one John did is the debut Cubs. A fitting
Oh
hat
shit.
and a fitting tribute. To Joe Freshgoods in his first collaboration with New Balance. That I don't know if you got that and you have a shoe that's aged well in your collection. Definitely something that I think you would like. Gray UV, black guts. Batterman one more time. Made in China. So all four of these will be
Dude.
exclusively available in NoHo next week, Saturday. I will show these hats off again for next week's show, but for those that were troopers
Hell yeah.
and hung around, this is the clip.
Sneak preview,
Preview of what's to
baby.
come next week.
You get rewarded
Yeah,
for listening to our
our
bullshit.
ramblings, the ramblings of but big shouts out to everybody that's hung out with us for the show so far. Um,
Always
as
a pleasure.
always, love you guys. Have a great week. Enjoy the PJs. We are out skis. We'll see y'all next week.
See you guys tomorrow and Friday in
Yes, sir.
Arizona. And go Pacers. Peace.
Peace.